AEO certificate. Over the next few slides, I will run you through what is the AEO program, what is the concept, what is the origin, what are the tiers, and most importantly, what are the benefits of the program and the application process of the program. And last but not the least, the current changes and the emphasis brought in by the Government of India in the latest budget and the new schemes that they have introduced in order to promote the AEO scheme. My goal is very simple for the session today. After the session, I want you all, the participants, to answer two questions for me, that whether AEO scheme is applicable to me, and the second question should be what tier is applicable to me. With that, let's begin with the presentation. I request Mr. Pavandeep to change the slide. Now, the agenda of the presentation today, this is the strategy of the presentation. The first slide will talk about the AEO, the concept and the origin. The next slide will talk about the present scenario of the AEO in India. The third slide will cover the 4 categories of the AEO program, the 4 categories, and the next 3 slides will cover the AEO programs that are relevant to the program today. Then we'll talk about the eligibility criteria. Then we'll talk about the benefits of the program. Then what I have done for the participants present in the meeting today, I have divided these benefits into 3 parts. The first benefits are the operational benefits that will be available to them under the AEO scheme. The next talk about the financial benefits available to them. And the third talk about the strategic and the global benefits available to them. Then we'll talk about the latest updates in 2025 and 2026 introduced by the Government of India. And then there will be a detailed presentation on how to apply for the scheme. And then I'll also warn the participants about the causes of rejections of the scheme. Then we'll talk about the key takeaways, and then the floor will be open for questions. Mr. Pavan, please forward to the next slide. Okay. Now, the first slide. What is an authorized economic operator? In very simple terms, the authorized economic operator is a trusted business entity badge given by the Government of India, especially the Customs Department, to the business entities that are involved in the international supply chain in India. The AEO program is a voluntary certification program introduced by the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, recognizing businesses engaged in international trade as secure, compliant, and reliable partners in the global supply chain. The AEO concept was originally introduced in the World Customs Organization, with the first member being the US, introduced the first AEO program as CPAC in their country. The same has been introduced in India as the AEO program and is being governed by the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. On the right-hand side of the slide, you can see the parent circular is circular number 33/2016 Customs. The participants, please note, this circular is considered as the parent circular of the AEO program in India. It talks about all the benefits, the eligibility criteria. Any questions, any queries you have, please refer to the circular, as this circular is considered as the parent circular of the AEO program in India. All right, then I hope you all understand what is the Authorized Economic Operator certificate and the program. Participants can answer my question. All right. Now, coming on to the next slide, the current scenario of AEO program in India. As far as the latest update, almost 10,000 plus certificates have been issued by the CBIC to the exporters and the importers in India. According to me, this is no longer a niche program in India. It has become a very common program for anybody involved in the international supply chain in India. 3 things please remember. The first thing, that this program is administered by the CBIC, that is your Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. It is a voluntary program. There is no compelling on you to apply for the certificate, but if you are involved in the international supply chain in any manner, then you have to have this certificate, because this certificate right now has become the de facto for legitimacy in cross-border trade. As far as the certificate is considered in India, this certificate is recognized internationally, not only domestically. So you are considered a trusted partner not only in India, but also internationally. Now coming on to the next slide. Now coming on to the next slide as to who can apply for this application. Anybody who is a manufacturer or a trader. This certificate does not limit to it is not limited to either a manufacturer or a trader. Both the manufacturers and the traders can get this certificate, and it does not matter whether if you just import or export or you do both. If you are a trader that is involved solely in importing the goods, then also you can apply for the certificate. If you are a trader involved in exporting the goods, then also you can apply for this certificate. So there is no bar on applying the certificate as long as you are involved in the international supply chain. Whether you are a manufacturer or a trader, you can apply for the certificate. Alright. Now there are certain minimum requirements that have been mentioned in circular number 33, 2016 that talk about the eligibility criteria for the certificate. On the right-hand side of the presentation, you can see the minimum requirements have been mentioned. The first requirement is that the company should be legally established in India. It should have a valid IEC and a GST registration. And they should be established for a minimum of 3 years before applying for the certificate. Now, this number 3 basic condition can be let go on the ground that instead, if you have been established only for 1 year or 2 years before applying for the certificate, this criteria can be let go on the basis that there will be physical verification of the property of your premises or your factory, and then you will be issued for your certificate. So they have mentioned it as a minimum criteria of 3 years, but certificate can still be issued to you if you have been established only for 1 or 2 years. Now the next criteria, which I consider to be the most important criteria, that is that your company should have handled at least 25 basic documents. That is your bill of entry and shipping bill. Now, how is this 25 number calculated? This 25 number can either be the bill of entries, or they can be shipping bills, or they can be both. Please understand my point. They need not be both. They need not be only shipping bills or bills of entry, or they need not be both. They can be either or both. There is a minimum requirement of 25. All right. Now, the fifth point is that the company should be financially solvent. There should be no insolvency or liquidation proceedings initiated against you in the previous 3 financial years. You should have a very clean record of tax customs and tax compliance. And the 7th point, which is also very important, that no pending show cause notices should be issued against you in the matters of customs and GST. And please understand, an SCN can be issued to the company, but if the SCN mentions anything about fraud, forgery, outright smuggling, or clandestine removal of excisable goods, then the AEO certificate will not be issued to you, and you are not even eligible to apply for the certificate. If your SCN does not mention anything about fraud, forgery, outright smuggling, clandestine removal, you can still apply for the certificate if an SCN has been issued to you. But there are certain sections in both your customs and your GST that talk about fraud or forgery. For example, section 28(4) of the Customs Act 1962 talks about fraud. Your section 111, 112, 113, 114, all of these sections talk about fraud and forgery or outright smuggling. So if this SCN has been issued on the basis of these sections, then you are not eligible to apply for the AEO certificate. And then another eligibility criteria, that no prosecution should have been launched against the company or its members under the customs and the GST. There are certain sections in customs and GST that talk about the criminal aspect of customs and GST, that wherein the prosecution can be launched against the company and its partners. So no prosecution should be contemplated against both the applicant and its senior manager. The last point is only applicable in cases when you apply for higher certification, which I'll explain in the later on slide. I hope everybody understands that who can apply and what are the eligibility criteria of applying for a AEO certificate. Okay, please move on to the next slide. Okay, now there are four major categories of an AEO. That is your AEO T1, T2, and T3. There's also a fourth category which is AEO LO, which talks about logistics operator, which I'll not be talking about in this presentation because most of the you present in this meeting will either be manufacturers or traders. So I'll not be talking about the AEO logistics operator. Now, the three categories are AEO T1, T2, and T3. The AEO T1 is considered as an entry level certificate, and the validity is a continuous validity. It is based on an auto renewal. You have to fill a self declaration form at the end of every year, and there is no validity period as far as you are compliant with the AEO program. Your AEO T1 certificate will continue. Okay. Now coming on to AEO T2, which is a higher tier than AEO T1, which provides you with a higher facilitation, and the validity for AEO T2 certificate is 3 years. Now coming on to the T3 certificate, which is considered as the highest tier, which provides you with the highest facilitation. So to apply for T3, you must have the T2 certificate for at least 2 years, and the validity for AEO T3 program is 5 years. Now I'll dive into each of these certificates in a much detailed manner in the next following 3 slides. Please. Now, talking about the first certificate, that is your AEO T1 certificate. Now, please look at the bottom of the slide. It says recommended for. For whom AEO T1 certificate is recommended for? AEO T1 certificate is recommended for businesses with nominal export or import transactions who want their goods cleared quickly and are recognized as a trusted supply member of the supply chain. If you have nominal export or import and want good clearance, then the AEO T1 certificate will be considered and will be the most recommended certificate for you. Now, as far as the process is concerned, the AEO certificate is fully online. There is no need to submit any documents physically. And after the certificate has been issued to you, there is a need for annual self-declaration that needs to be filed at the end of every year. Now, coming on to the benefits of AEO T1 certificate, I'll explain the benefits, each benefit individually. Now, the first benefit that I have written down is direct port delivery and direct port entry. Now, when you import your goods into India, there is a certain amount of hamper of goods where they are examined, they are checked, they are looked at. As if you are an AEO T1 holder, your goods will not be stored at the custom freight station. They will be sent directly to the port, and there will be no stopping by any customs authority for checking of your goods. They will be delivered directly to the port for clearance. As far as direct port entry is concerned, when you pack your goods in your factory and when you take them to the port for export, they are checked at the port. Whereas if you are an AEO holder, as soon as you pack your goods at the factory and you take them to the port, take them to the customs for the checking, they will be sent straight away to the port for export. There will be no checking of your goods, no stopping of your goods. They will be straight away sent for clearance or for export. So this will save you a lot of time. Right now, your goods might have been checked by the customs authority when you import or when you export. There will be no further checking of goods as soon as you get your AEO T1 certificate. Now, the second benefit is faster custom clearance. As soon as the customs authority know that you are an AEO holder, they will straight away send your goods without much checking. Your goods will be mentioned as low risk. Therefore, there will be no checking of your goods. They will be straight away sent for clearance. Now coming on to the third benefit, that is 24/7 customs clearance facility. You no longer have to wait for office hours. AEO holders can clear their goods any time of the day. These are very important for goods that are perishable, correct? With goods that are perishable, if they are imported and they need to be cleared immediately, this benefit comes along very hefty. Now coming on to the next benefit, which is reduced examinations. Again, when you import your goods or when you export your goods, there will be no checking of your goods. until and unless they get an intelligence that certain something might be going on with the shipment, then only they will check your shipment. Otherwise, there will be no reason for you to stop their goods either for clearance or for import. Now, coming on to one of the most important benefits available under the AEO T1 scheme, that is your bank guarantee 50% reduction. What does it mean? In certain cases, you are to provide bank guarantee to the customs authority. In such situations, if you have to provide a bank guarantee of rupees 100, now if you are an AEO holder, that bank guarantee will be reduced to 50% immediately. So if you have to provide a bank guarantee of rupees 100, then you, after becoming an AEO holder, you have to provide a bank guarantee of only rupees 50. That will help you save a lot of blocked up capital. That will automatically help your working capital. Now the next benefit is earmarked space as custodian premises. What happens is the cargo which the AEO holders, the cargo that belongs to the AEO holders, they are kept at a separate place at a port, which recognizes that these are the cargo belonging to an AEO holder. They require faster clearance, and automatically they are kept at a separate area of the port, and they're taken care of, and they are not kept with every product. They are kept at a very separate area at the port. There is a separate area belonging to the cargo of AEO holders. As soon as you get your AEO certificate, there will be an email notification when your goods arrive or when your goods are sent for export. After your AEO certificate has been issued to you, there will be some members of your team or your company that will be representing you or going for the company to the customs station. They will be issued ID cards that will automatically help them to visit the warehouses and the port access. Instead of getting approval every time, they will have their ID cards. They can directly go to the port or the warehouses without any problem. Now the benefit which talks about merchant overtime fee exemption. What is merchant overtime fee? When officers of the customs work extra or work for longer hours, they charge you a merchant overtime fee. As soon as you become an AEO holder, this fee will not be applicable in your cases. Alright. Now there's another benefit mentioned, which is the annual OSPCA, that is your on-site physical compliance audit, clearance audit. What is it? Now currently what happens is, if you clear your goods for import, or you send your goods, as soon as you clear your goods for import, there's a transactional audit held by the customs at your factory or your premises. They held an audit whether the goods were correctly valued or not. There are certain objections of that audit. All right. As soon as you become an AEO holder, instead of being a transactional audit, it becomes an annual audit. So you will be audited only once in every year. There will be no further transactional audit after every clearance. There will just be one clearance. And automatically, when these benefits are provided to you, you will have higher facilitation, shorter cargo release time. And if there has been an SCN or issued against you, or if anything happens to you, there is a faster dispute resolution available for the AEO holders. So these are all the benefits available for the AEO T1 holders. These include both the operational and your financial benefits. I'll explain them, the financial aspect and the operational benefits, in later on slides. I hope you understand these benefits that I've mentioned in this slide. Now coming on to the next certificate, which is your AEO T2 certificate. This is a higher facilitation or higher tier than your AEO T1. Now, for whom is AEO T2 recommended for? Now, AEO T2 is recommended for companies with substantial amount of imports or exports. I'll explain you why. I mentioned nominal in the cases of AEO T1, and I have mentioned substantial in the cases of AEO T2. I'll explain the same in just a few minutes. Now, talking about the process, as far as AEO T1 is concerned, the application process is completely online. But similarly for AEO T2, the application process is also completely online. There is no difference. both of them are online, but the form that is to be filled for AEO 2 is very different than AEO T1. The form to be filled for AEO T2 is different. And one of the most major differences is that AEO T1 is a document-based application. There is no physical verification in the case of AEO T1. But in the cases of AEO T2, after you have submitted your application and the documents have been reviewed by the customs authority, there will be a physical verification of the factory. Only one factory, if you have multiple factories or multiple premises, only one factory will be physically verified. And then the AEO application will be processed further. So the only difference comes in the forms and the physical verification. Physical verification happens in the cases of AEO T2 and T3. There is no physical verification in the case of AEO T1. Alright. As far as the benefits are concerned, now, why did I say that companies that have a substantial amount of import or export should apply for AEO T2? Please look at the benefit that is mentioned as deferred duty payment. For companies that have a substantial amount of imports, this benefit is hugely helpful. Currently, when you import your goods, there's a certain amount of custom duty that has to be paid. In case you are an AEO T2 holder, there's a benefit available to you which is known as the deferred duty payment. In this case, the goods will arrive at the port. You don't need to pay the custom duty on that day. The custom duty has to be paid on the first of the following month. Please understand this benefit. It is known as clearance first and pay later. You can clear your goods and then the custom duty has to be paid on the first of the following month. So it provides you an ample amount of time and it frees your working capital. So instead of paying the custom duty when the goods arrive, you pay the custom duty on the following month. Alright? This is why I said that people who have substantial amount of imports should apply for deferred duty payment or AEO T2 certificate. Sorry. Because now, companies that have a substantial amount of export, why should they apply for AEO T2 certificate? They should apply for AEO T2 certificate because it provides them with the benefit of facility of self-sealing and waiver of self-verification. Right now, when you self-seal your products, right now you have to go to a bonded warehouse in order to seal your products for them to be exported. When you become an AEO T2 holder, you can pack your goods in your factory, you can seal your goods at the factory, you can send them directly for export. There is no need to send your goods at a bonded warehouse for them to get ready to be exported. You can self-seal the goods at your factory straight away and then you can send them for export. This saves a lot of time for exporters. Instead of going to the bonded warehouse, getting your goods exported, now you can directly go and export your goods. And the log that you put on your truck or something which you send to the port, they will not be checked. Once you have closed them, once you have sealed them, they will not be opened by any customs authority. They can straight away be sent to export. That is the benefit of waiver of seal verification. That is why I said companies with substantial exports should also apply for AEO T2 certificate. Now, other benefits available in AEO T2 are your T1 benefits are already available. Benefits available in the T1 are already applicable to you. Along with them, you have the deferred duty payment. You have the facility of self-sealing. You have the waiver of self-verification. Then you get a dedicated client relationship manager. This person is an assistant commissioner or a deputy commissioner of the customs, and he or she becomes your sole point of contact in the customs authority. So if you are facing any problem at the customs or the port, you contact them and you tell them, sir or ma'am, we are facing this problem, and your problem will be cleared right away. Alright? Then your on-site physical clearance audit. Post-clearance audit will happen only once in every 3 years. In AEO T1, it happens once in every 1 year. Here it will happen once in every 3 years. Alright, then your bank guarantee. You there is a reduction of almost 75% in providing your bank guarantee. And even in some cases, if you are taking the advantage of advanced authorization or export promotion of capital goods, in those cases, there is a complete waiver of bank guarantee for AEO T2 holders. You don't need to provide any bank guarantee. And in other cases, there is a reduction of 75%. Alright? Now the next benefit is refund or rebate. If you file any refund with the customs authority or GST authority, there will be that the same refund will be approved within 45 days. Your goods will be given priority scanning and assessment. If any SCN has been issued against you, there will be faster adjudication and dispute resolution. And there will be full MRA benefits, which I'll explain in the later on slides, because I've written down them in much more detail in the later on slides. I hope you understand the important benefits available under the AEO T2 scheme. Now coming on to the last and the final certificate, which is your AEO T3 certificate. All the benefits and the process is same as AEO T2. And then you will ask me a question as to why would anybody apply for an AEO T3 certificate. Please understand, AEO T2 and T3 are right now considered as to be the most de facto legitimacy by the government of India. If you are an AEO T2 or a T3 holder, the government of India will call you for any discussion they will have regarding you. You will become the policy maker. You are invited for them to have a discussion. You become a direct stakeholder with the CBIC, and they will call you for any discussion or any discrepancy you are facing in your industry. You become the most important person for them to have a discussion regarding your industry. So AEO T2 and T3 brings you that validity. Alright, and automatically your AEO T1 and T2 benefits are available under your T3, and other benefits have been written down. This certificate provides you with the highest facilitation, and your goods will not even be physically examined. Your goods will straight away be sent to your port, your premises. No longer even at the port. They will be sent to your premises, and any action has to be taken by the customs authority will be taken at your premises instead of at the port. So T3 is the highest level of facilitation, and you need to have the T2 certificate for 2 years before you can apply for T3. Alright. Now coming on to the next slide. I hope I have explained you all the benefits. In the next slide, I've explained the benefits. I've divided the benefits into 3 parts. Can you please show the next slide? Okay. The benefits have been divided into 3 parts. Your operational benefits, your financial benefits, and your strategic benefits. As far as your operational benefits are concerned, can you please switch to the next slide? This is it. Alright. As far as your operational benefits are concerned, these are all the operational benefits. These will benefit you and your team every single day at the port, at the factory gate, and at the warehouse floor. They cut your time at your cargo, cut down the time your cargo spends idle, faster custom clearance, fewer physical examinations and inspections, and a dedicated client relationship manager for T2 and T3 holders. This will lead to your shorter lead times, better delivery commitments to your buyers, less logistics chaos, and the ability to run lean inventories without the fear of port delays. Operational benefits will provide you with the most valuable resource, they will save your time. All of these benefits will save your time. In the next slide also I mentioned the operational benefits available to you. These all benefits will save your time in a very huge manner. They will reduce your cargo time reduce your clearance time when it comes to your imports. They will reduce your export time. There will be no more logistics chaos for you, and everything will be happening in a very smooth fashion instead of a chaotic manner that generally happens at the customs or the port stations. You will be provided with absolute clearance and absolute priority by the customs authority. All right. Now coming on to the 13th slide, which now coming on to the financial benefits. I have talked about the deferred duty payment because I consider it to be the one of the most important benefits available under the AEO scheme. Because people who are importing goods in a substantial manner, they are provided with paying the duty on the first of the following month. They are provided a deferred time of 1 month to pay their custom duty, which saves up your working capital to a huge aspect, to a huge extent, and it becomes a huge aspect of working. All right. Now, with the bank guarantee waiver, your refund, your MOT fee waiver, which is your merchant overtime fee, lower demurrage, when your goods are cleared at a very fast pace, you will have lower demurrage or detention fees that needs to be paid. So all these benefits mentioned at slide number 13 and 14 talk about the financial benefits available to you. These will save you money and put back the money that you have saved in your business again. And I can guarantee, for as far as I speak for myself and my clients who have issued the certificates for, they are saving a huge amount of money every month because of the AEO certificate. These are all the financial benefits mentioned at 13 and 14. Now coming on to slide number 15, which is your strategic and your global benefits. There was one of the benefits that was mentioned in the earlier slide, that was your MRA benefit. That is your mutually recognized agreement. All right. So if you are exporting your goods to any of these countries like South Korea, Hong Kong, Taiwan, UAE, United States, Australia, and Russia, these countries will also not stop your goods. They will not check your goods. They will straight away send your goods for clearance. They will mutually recognize that this person has been issued an AEO certificate by the government of India. We trust him because the government of India trusts him, and these goods are straight away sent for clearance. They are not checked by even at their custom port. All right. As far as your credibility now, as far as your enhanced credibility is concerned, after you get your AEO certificate, if you send it to your overseas buyer or to your bank or to your shipping companies, which will help you export or import your goods, they will check whether you're an AEO holder or not. If you are an AEO holder, that will enhance your credibility in every aspect. It will enhance your credibility in the international supply chain. They will realize that this person has been issued an AEO certificate by the government of India, and this person is a reliable and a trusted source. Therefore, we can either buy the goods from him, we can sell the goods to him, and your shipping terms can also get improved. The line of credit issued by the bank can also be improved. When they recognize that the company is an AEO holder, the banks issue a better line of credit to the company. Obviously, it will provide you with a competitive advantage over your competitors who are non-AEO holders, because overseas buyers and overseas sellers have no idea as to what the company is. But if they recognize that the person has been recognized as an AEO holder, they will automatically trust your company and can have faith in doing business with you. So it will provide you a competitive advantage over your non-AEO holders, and it will automatically help in your business as well. So these are the strategic and the global benefits available of the AEO certificate. Please understand that this is not a domestic certificate. This is an internationally recognized certificate. It will not only help you domestically, it will also help you internationally. Countries, and also Government of India has signed your FTAs with much more countries like your European Union, your Oman, your UK. These FTAs have also mentioned the AEO certificate. So currently there are only 7 countries under the MRA. In the coming few years, there will be many more countries that will be mentioned under the MRA partners. Because all the FTAs, as soon as they become applicable, more countries will be added under this MRA partners, like your EU, your Oman, your other more countries with which the FTA is going on. they will also be mentioned under this. So it's not just these 7 countries, it will be all over the world which will recognize your AEO certificate. Okay. Now coming on to the next slide, I have drawn a table which compares the benefits available under AEO T1, T2 and T3. Some benefits are not available under AEO T1 and some benefits are differently available under AEO T2 and T3. Please go through the same. Like your deferred duty payment is not available under AEO T1, but it is available under T2 and T3. And your self-sealing permission, similarly, your self-sealing permission is not available under your T1. It is available under T2 and T3. This table helps you understand what benefits are available under which certificate. Okay. Now coming on to the next slide. How to obtain, what is the process to obtain the AEO certificate? Before even starting your AEO certificate, please, it is a humble request from my side, please see which tier will be the most suitable. I have already told you for whom AEO T1 is recommended for and for whom AEO T2 and T3 has been recommended for. Now coming on to the second step. Even before you start filing your application, there is a process involved, that is your registration of the company. Pavandeep sir, I request you to open that guideline for AEO T1 certificate. Okay. I have already shared this guideline with Mr. Pavandeep. Now please understand what is the complete process of getting an AEO certificate. The first step is the registration of the company. Before you can file your application, you must register yourself with the AEO. Alright, sir, can you just open the slide number 19 for me just once? Okay. Now I have pasted I hope everybody is able to see the screen. I have pasted the screenshot of the AEO portal. As soon as you open this portal on your page, you will see there's a registration written, right? That is the first step of getting your AEO certificate, getting yourself registered. In this registration, they will ask you for your zone. Please put in the zone where your factory or your registered address is. They will ask for your mobile number and your email. Please put in the mobile number and the email that you have mentioned in your IC as your registered mail and your registered email. That is the one thing they are checking in this registration. Alright. So they will ask you of your zone, of your mail ID and your number. Your zone should be the one that is wherein your registered address or your factory is. Your number and your mail ID should be the ones as mentioned in your importer-exporter code. Importer-exporter code, yes. Because they will match because the same details will be verified by the customs authority, that the number mentioned on the IC is the same as the number that you have written and the email is the same as the one you have mentioned. Alright. So the number and the email should be the same as the one mentioned in your IC certificate. Alright. After you are done with your registration, it generally takes 1 or 2 days to get yourself verified. The customs authority verifies you. This verification generally takes 1 or 2 days. And after the verification, you are now eligible to file your application. Now please come on to the guidelines. Alright sir. सर इसको थोड़ा नीचे करेंगे सर. Down. Alright. Now this is the form of AEO T1 application. It will start with the name of the company. The second is whether your application has been rejected or not. What is your IC number, your GST number, whether you are an MSME or not. Please understand there are a number of benefits available to the MSME scheme under the AEO. And like in this case where I mentioned that only minimum of 25 shipping bills and bill of entries are required for you to file the AEO certificate. If you are an MSME, this requirement comes down to 10, only 10. So it can be either 10 bill of entries or 10 shipping bills or 10 shipping bills and bill of entries. So from 25, it gets reduced to 10. So if you're an MSME, please write down yes. There are certain number of benefits available to MSME when it comes to filing the AEO application. All right. Then the next step is, so thoda sa niche aur, MSME. Then please look at the address. First of all, please mention in this form, please mention your corporate address and your registered address. That is the first step. And then mention all the addresses that have been mentioned on your IC certificate. The IC certificate mentions all the addresses. Mention all the addresses in this column. All right. All the addresses mentioned in the IC need to be mentioned in this column. Now coming on to the next. The next question asks you, so super. The next question asks you whether you are a manufacturer, trader, importer, or exporter. Please mention whether you are a trader or an importer. If you are a trader and you import goods, mention trader, importer. If you export goods and you are a trader, mention trader and exporter. If you are a manufacturer and importer, please mention manufacturer, importer. All right. Main items of manufacturing only if you are a manufacturing unit. Then it talks about your industry classification. Then it mentions your contact person. Please mention the person who will be responsible to be in contact with the customs authority. There might be a case they will call you or they will ask you certain questions or they will ask you to represent yourself in front of those authorities. So please mention the person who will be responsible for the same. All right. Mention their designation, mention their number, then your company registration number, then your PAN. If you are importing goods, then mention the countries you are importing from. And if you are exporting goods, then mention the countries and the items that you are exporting, along with their HSN codes. All right. If you are exporting one or two items, please mention those items in this column. And if you are exporting, please mention these goods along with their HSN codes that what you are exporting and what you are importing. All right. Now coming on to the next is the number of documents. Like I mentioned, the eligibility criteria was 25. So mention the number of documents that were handled by your company in the previous financial year. All right. A little up. Yeah, that is perfect. Duration of business, that will be counted from your certificate of incorporation. That this mentions process map. What is a process map? Process map includes your buying the goods, manufacturing the goods, and then exporting the goods. A complete process map as to what happens when the goods are imported, your manufacturing process, and exporting. And if you are a trader, then please mention how you get your goods, how they are stored, how they are contained in the premises, and how they are exported or sold domestically. Either way, it has to be a complete flowchart or a process map showing what your business does with the goods. All right. Now coming on, and then you save this annexure. This is the first annexure. Now coming on to the second annexure. A little down. down. Now the second annexure talks about whether an SCN has been issued to you or any prosecution has been launched against your company or its senior officials. If it has not been launched, please say no. And if an SCN has been issued to you, but if it does not talk about fraud, forgery, outright smuggling, or clandestine removal of goods, you can tell them, you can mention the same in this column that yes, we have been issued an SCN, but we have not been issued an SCN under these following cases. Therefore, we are still eligible for the AEO certificate. All right. Now coming on to the next, then it talks about your contingent liabilities. Contingent liabilities are mentioned in your balance sheet. If the contingent liabilities are mentioned in your balance sheet, please mention the same. Then it talks about certain policies of your factory or your premises. It will talk about how the goods are stored in your factory, how is the IT security, and how much time are the goods and the documents stored for, and or how much time are the documents recorded. These will all be starting from your this question to the very end. It only talks about your policies. If you have policies, please reply accordingly to these questions. Now coming on to the very last. Yes, please, yeah. Now coming from for you can see in the presentation state for how long are the in this data archive. So from till this point, all the questions are about your policies and your procedures that will be completely mentioned in your factory or your premises. All right. Now, one of the most important documents that you have to submit is a solvency certificate, which shows your net worth and your net current assets. Because the eligibility criteria talks about you being financially solvent for the past 3 financial years. So you have to provide a solvency certificate showing your net worth and your net current assets. The same has to be signed by a chartered accountant and the same has to be submitted in this column. All right. Now coming on to the next, a little down, sir. All right. Now you have mentioned your net worth and your net current assets. Then a declaration has to be provided. In the 10th column, a declaration has to be provided that there has been no insolvency or liquidation proceedings against your company in the previous 3 financial years, and the same has to be signed by the CFO or equivalent in your company. All right, a declaration. In this case, a declaration has to be provided. Now the final declaration is a self-declaration or a legal declaration that is mentioned in circular number 33. The complete format is mentioned. The same has to be signed by the authorized signatory in your company, and the same has to be uploaded here. All right. After you are done with uploading all the documents, you save annexure 2. Then you are provided with the option to preview and then submit the application. This is the process of complete AEO T1. After you have submitted the application, if there are any deficiencies in your application, so please a little down. All right, perfect. Now, after you have submitted your complete application, the same is reviewed by the customs authority, and if there are any deficiencies in your application, the same will be highlighted on the portal itself, and you can reply there itself. So there is no need for any physical visit or anything. You can simply upload your documents, submit your application, and get your approval. All right. Please come out of this application guide and back to the presentation. So please open slide number 18. Till point number 5, your AEO T1 and your T2 applications are the same. All right. But the application form for AEO T2 is mentioned under circular number 33. From there are annexure from annexure A to annexure E. There are several questions that talk about the policies of your company. Please understand these questions are not difficult to answer. These questions only talk about the nature of the company and the policies and the procedures that are being followed by the company. If sir is willing, please open circular number 33 for me. So please go to the very end of the circular. I'll tell you when. So go up. Up. Perfect. Up. Up. where annexure A is written. A little up, a little up, a little up, sir, a little up. Now, perfect, perfect. Now, from if you open circular number 33, from page 24 to the very end, these are the application forms and annexures that have been provided to you. You have to fill these annexures from annexure A to annexure 3.5. These all of these annexures talk about the nature of your company, the policies and the procedures followed by the company in the cases of your cargo, how the goods are transported in your company, how you take care of the guests that are coming in your factory, how the no entry zones in your factory are controlled. All of these are policies and procedure questions asked in these annexures. So you have to answer them accordingly. And in them, in these very, they will ask for your site plans. They will ask for the process map. Everything from these annexure A to annexure E5 has to be filled by you. The same have to be uploaded in the AEO portal. Similarly, like AEO T1 certificate, you will be given the option to upload these documents. There is no need to submit any hard copies to the AEO programs. The only requirement is to fill these forms, submit them online to the AEO website. And then what is the difference between AEO T1 and T2? In T2, after you have submitted these documents, there will be a physical verification of the factory where where the customs authority will visit the factory or your premises. They will check the fences, the CCTV. There are certain criteria the custom authorities have written down for you to allow to have the AEO certificate. For you to have the AEO T2 certificate, they have certain criteria mentioned. They will check each and everything. They will check the fences of the premises. They will check the CCTV cameras of the premises. They will check that the goods are handled in a proper manner. The goods are stored in a proper manner. All of these things they will check. After they have checked your physical premises, they will send the report to DIC. And then the DIC will issue you the certificate. Alright, that is the complete entire process of AEO T2. Similarly, for AEO T3, the process is also similar. Just one more annexure is added for AEO T3, that is your annexure F. Otherwise, the rest of the steps are the same as AEO T2 certificate. I hope you have understood the application process for AEO certificate. Now coming on to the slides presentation. So slide number 20. Okay, I also provided with an indicative timeline to get your AEO certificate. For AEO T1, the general timeline is 15 to 20 days. For AEO T2 certificate, the timeline is approximately 3 to 4 months. And for T3, the timeline is 4 to 5 months. Alright. Now, I have in this slide, I mentioned common reasons for your application getting rejected. Please take care of these points when you are applying so that your application does not get rejected. If you have open SCNs against you, please check the same that no mention of fraud, forgery, or outright smuggling should be mentioned in those SCNs. Otherwise, your application will get rejected straight away. Alright? Please do not submit your application with incomplete or inconsistent documents. When you are applying for AEO T2 certificate and when there is physical verification of your factory, please note that you take care of all your premises. You will have fences, you have CCTV, you have good IT security. Take care of all the points you have mentioned in your policies and procedures so that when the customs authority visit, they do not reject your application on the basis of that physical visit. Alright. Now, the next point is adverse financial reports. If your one of the points is if your contingent liabilities are more than your net worth, your application might get rejected. So take care of your financials before you apply. If you see your net worth is less than your contingent liabilities, do not apply. Because they will say if contingent liabilities happen, then your entire net worth is gone. So you become insolvent or bankrupt. So in cases where there is an adverse financial report, please do not apply. You're not eligible for the certificate. Provide for key for business partners, please provide your correct data. and please select the correct tier before applying your application. So these are common reasons as to why the applications get rejected. Please take care of these points before you apply for your application. All right, coming on to the next slide. This slide, slide number 20. And this slide I have mentioned because I wanted to highlight the amount of emphasis and the deep involvement of the Government of India as far as the AEO program is considered. Currently, in the budget introduced in this financial year, more schemes have been introduced for the AEO, which is your auto goods registration, auto out of charge. Currently, when you import your goods, when the out of charge has been issued against your goods, the same has to be signed by the customs authority, and then only you can take your goods. Now, in the recent budget, they have introduced that you can, after you get your out of charge, your goods will be automatically cleared. There is no need for any human intervention. You can automatically clear your goods. All right. Now, one of the most important points I wish to highlight in this presentation was the EMI scheme. Now, I talked about the deferred duty payment, which was one of the most important benefits available to you under the AEO scheme. In order to promote the AEO scheme, the government has introduced the EMI scheme. The EMI scheme provides you with the deferred duty payment, even if you are an AEO holder or not. They have introduced the EMI scheme to show you the benefit of deferred duty payment, therefore promoting you to take the AEO T2 certificate. Because EMI scheme currently is only valid till 2028, so they are telling you, please take the certificate, EMI scheme, enjoy the benefit till 2028, but in the meantime, apply for your AEO application. They want you to show the benefit available under the AEO scheme and get the AEO certificate while you have the EMI certificate. All right. This is one of the important schemes introduced by the Government of India in order to promote the AEO. And please, when I talk to the participants in this presentation, please note that the Government of India right now is playing great emphasis on the AEO program. All the new benefits, all the new schemes, everything will be available first to the AEO holders and then to the non-AEO holders. Any scheme introduced, any benefit available, any GST benefit available will automatically be first given to the AEO holders. And then they will talk about the non-AEO holders. So the government is placing great emphasis on the AEO program, and it has advised that it will take you further steps ahead in your business if you take the AEO certificate. Now coming on to the next slide. After you get your certification, after you get your AEO certificate, please note that AEO T1 certificate is a continuous certificate. There is no validity to AEO T1 certificate. You have to fill your self-annual declaration form every year, and if the things are correct, the form is checked by the customs authority. If they feel you are complying with the AEO program, they will provide you with the permission to continue with the AEO T1 certificate. If they find that anything that you have not mentioned in the form, or you have misdeclared in the form, if an SCN has been issued against you, have not mentioned it in the form, in that case, they might revoke your certificate, and then you will have to apply for another certificate. All right. In the next AEO T2, the same is applicable for 3 years. And when you apply for a renewal of the AEO T2 certificate, apply 60 days prior to your expiry. Similarly, in T3, apply 90 days prior to your expiry. All right. And after you get your AEO certificate, please be compliant with all and every obligation that has been imposed to you as a trusted member of the international supply chain. If there are any material changes in your company, like if you add another unit or another factory, if you change the name of your company, please inform these things to the customs authority. And there are certain obligations imposed on you as a trusted member of the international supply chains. Comply by the same. Inform of all the material changes to the customs authority. Keep proper records of everything, starting from your IT security to your transportation. Keep proper records of everything. Otherwise, there's a slight chance your certificate might get revoked by the customs authority. All right. The next slide talks about the key takeaways. I hope you all understood what I have mentioned in the AEO program. And it is a humble request from my side. Please go for participants. If you are a manufacturer or a trader, please go for an AEO certificate or AEO program, because the upcoming times will only talk about your AEO certificate. There will be no longer mention of your domestically recognized certificate like a Star Export House certificate. There will no longer be mention of the certificate. Everything right now is being mentioned through our AEO certification. Every benefit, every favor is mentioning AEO certificate. Please go for the AEO certificate. All right. Thank you so much for attending the presentation. I hope you understood all the points. I hope after this presentation you have also understood the application process. I have mentioned my contact details, my mail number, and everything. If you have any questions or any queries regarding the same, please feel free to call me regarding the same. And now the floor is open for any questions. If you have any questions related to the AEO program, please ask.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful and informative session. I'm sure that all the participants have gained maximum knowledge and better understanding now about this program. We will now begin the question and answer session. I would request all the participants, if you have any questions, queries, please write them in the chat box or else raise your hand. Our expert will address them. Thank you.
Mayank ji, good evening. Can you please explain from slide 1 to slide 8 again, please?
Slide 1 to slide 8 again.
Yes.
All right, I'll summarize in 2 minutes for you. First from slide 1 to slide 8.
Okay.
Can you show me slide 1 to slide 8, please? So slide 1 was your authorized economic operator. Slide 2 talked about the structure of the presentation. The main were your 5, 6, and 7 and 8. Your 5 mentioned who can apply for the certificate. Your manufacturer trader, who is either an importer or an exporter or both, can apply for the certificate. It also mentioned the eligibility criteria for applying for an AEO certificate. You have to be legally established in India, a valid IC and a GST registration, financially solvent. You must be in business for at least 3 years prior to applying for the AEO application. There should be no show cause notice issued against you, and you should have adequate policies related to your procedural premises and cargo security. 6, 7, 8 talked about your tiers of the AEO program, which are AEO T1, T2, and T3. T1 is your entry level certificate, T2 is a higher facilitation certificate, and T3 is the highest facilitation certificate for you. And that is all that was talked about from slide 1 to slide 8.
Can you please show slides 7 and 8?
Please, sir. The slide 7 was your AEO T1 certificate, the benefits available under the AEO T1 certificate, and the process and for whom it has been recommended for. If you have a nominal amount of import activities or export activities, go for AEO T1 certificate. If you have substantial amount of export or import activities, go for AEO T2 certificate, which has been mentioned in the slide 8. And slide 8 talks about your AEO T2 certificate and the benefits available to that.
Okay, can we please get the presentation on email also?
Yes, we will be sharing the presentation on an email. I'm sharing a link, a feedback link. You can put your email ID there, or even you can put the email ID in chat box. So we will be sharing the PPT. And circular, the application user guidelines, circular number 33, we have already sent in the chat box. You can download from there. Even we will send it over an email also.
Okay. Thank you.
A question in the chat box, like how does AEO certification improve an exporter's credibility with overseas buyer?
Sir, as far as enhanced credibility with the overseas buyer is concerned, an overseas buyer will recognize your AEO certificate. It will recognize that you are a trusted member you are a trusted member of the government of India, and you have been trusted by the government of India that you are a proper exporter of goods and you are a proper business. And they, instead of going with a non-AEO holder, they will probably go with an AEO holder while doing business. That will automatically enhance your credibility with an overseas buyer. So please understand, this AEO certificate is not only recognized domestically, it is also recognized internationally. Buyers internationally see, first of all, see all this, that you have certifications with you before buying from you. So as far as AEO certificate is considered, when they see the AEO certificate, they will automatically consider you as a trusted member of the international supply chain, and they will buy from you instead of going with another non-AEO holder.
Pawan, you are muted.
In the carpet industry, a significant portion of the production is carried out by artisan and weaver in the decentralized clusters or at home-based units. So rather than the factory permissions, how does the AEO program address the supply chain security and compliance requirements such as decentralized manufacturing ecosystem?
So where can I read this question?
So in the chat box, you can see in the chat box.
In the carpet industry specifically. So as long as a decentralized manufacturing ecosystem is considered, when the artisans and the handicrafts person sell it to somebody in the domestic market and that domestic person is selling the goods outside, I believe AEO program will automatically give a lot of advantage. These people who are making these carpets at their home or at a decentralized facility will not be selling it or exporting these goods outside. They might sell it to somebody who is selling them, first of all, buying them domestically and then exporting these goods. Correct? And when the overseas buyer will see that that particular person has the AEO certificate, they will automatically buy those carpets or those artisans or those handicrafts from that individual. So if you are a person who is operating in a decentralized manufacturing system, I will tell them to sell their goods to a AEO holder who is distributing goods ahead instead of a non-AEO holder who is distributing goods. People will trust an AEO holder more when buying goods from them instead of a non-AEO holder. So if you are making goods in a decentralized manner right now, or artisans or handicrafts are making their goods outside of the factory premises, there will be only one recommendation to them to sell their, because they are not exporting the goods, correct? So they should sell their goods to a person who has the AEO certificate and then selling the goods outside.
So this
what advice would you give me? Sir, my advice would be very simple. Please see the eligibility criteria first and then apply for the AEO T1 certificate instead of going straight away for the AEO T2 certificate, because there are a lot of hurdles, there are a lot of policies involved as far as AEO T2 is considered. But as far as AEO T1 is considered, it's a very simple documentation process for you. Check your eligibility criteria because they are asking for very simple documents from you. They are asking for your IC, your GST, the goods you are manufacturing, the goods you are importing. These are very simple questions from their side. Apply for AEO T1 certificate first. The same gets issued within 15 to 20 days. Get your AEO T1 certificate. See the benefits available under the AEO T1 certificate. And after you have enjoyed and seen the benefits of the AEO T1 certificate, after some time apply for your AEO T2 certificate. That will be my advice to you.
थैंक यू मैम। कोई और है, अगर किसी का कोई सवाल है आप चैट बॉक्स में डालें या आप पैसे भी पूछ सकते हैं। सर वी हैव अ क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम डिजाइनर पॉइंट कि व्हाट इज द कॉस्ट ऑफ सर्टिफिकेट?
There is no cost. There is no cost of submitting this application to the government authorities. There is no cost.
Now we have come to the conclusion of this informative webinar. Before we close, I would request to our Executive Director, ma'am, Dr. Smita Nagarkoti, to please deliver the vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
On behalf of Carpet Export Promotion Council, I extend a very warm thank you to Mayank Kapoorji. The session was very informative, and I hope कि जितने भी members हमारे join करे हैं, they have been able to understand कि how this AEO certification can actually contribute a lot to their business. I think the entire process of how the certification is to be taken, how it is going to benefit you has been exemplified very well by Mayank ji. We will be sharing his contact details with all the members who have joined. We would request the members to make use of this opportunity. आपको डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट देगा बायर्स के लिए एक अलग बनाने के लिए. It will help you set yourself apart from other people. So I think it's a very good opportunity. इस certification को use करिए. Like Mayank ji clarified that it does not have any cost. तो इसमें कोई भी अगर प्रॉब्लम आती है, as I said, contact details we will share with everyone and process start करिए और make best of the opportunities. Thank you once again, everybody, for joining us. It will be shared, and we or be organizing other webinars as well. Benefit of all. Thank you for now and have a good day. Thank you, Mayank ji, once again.